now we are going to read chapter 6. Right, chapter 6 is quite connected to chapter 5 because remember chapter 5 we talk about being natural, 自然. So in chapter 6, it used the metaphor of valleys and all that to describe, the idea of Tao, right? So allow me to read in Mandarin, right? This is 第6章，古神不死，是谓玄冰，玄冰之门，是谓天地根。绵绵若存，用之不勤。So this is a very short form. So let me see what is going to be read as in the translated form. The translated form read as chapter 6. The spirit of the valleys never dies. This is called the mysterious female. The gateway of the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. Dimly visible, it seems as if it were there. Yet use will never drain it. Okay, so this is chapter 6. So, let's look at what it is describing. In fact, what it's describing is nature, right? In English form, it's called nature, but in Mandarin, we call it 自然. 自然 is the idea of being natural nature, right? 自然 means be yourself, be like nature, be natural, be and flow with nature. So that's 自然. So what is described here is how the world is so natural and how it is from this natural thing or naturalness that something grows from it, right? So it compares this and use it, the valley, as a metaphor. Why the valley? Right, the valley is where you can plant, you can do planting in the valleys, right? So valley is somewhere that you can take cover, somewhere where things grow, somewhere where you can avoid natural disaster more often than in other form, and that's where you can settle down and you can propagate. So valley is a very productive place, right? So of course this valley, to a certain extent, when you look at the English translation, it talks about female. Why? Because it compares it to the womb, The womb is where the baby comes out. So, to a certain extent, a lot of people suspect that Daodejing was written in the days where the female, is the main ruling person in the household. What we call a maternalistic society, right? Not a paternalistic like father society, but the mother is the main character of the society, main ruler, main controller, main manager of the society, because she can produce babies. She is the one that produces like magic, So this is the valley is compared to the womb in that form. So, and then they talk about how the world, manifests itself, how the world become, right? So all this is like eternal recurrence, like what Nietzsche always say, eternal recurrence. So this eternal recurrence process is always continuing, is always there. So he said 绵绵若存. That means you don't know it's there, but it just keep on repeating, and multiple things came out of all this repetition and came out of the valleys, So it's describing how being natural is creativity itself, and how the whole world grow, how the whole world propagate, right? So being natural, being nature is the most important thing of the idea of the Tao. So one must always flow with nature. One must always flow and do not know where you are going, but you are going somewhere, natural, right? For example, the water will always flow into the ocean. It's just natural, right? So later on you'll read more about the idea of the water, right? So that's what this chapter 6 is all about. It's a continuation of chapter 5 to elaborate and give more metaphor on how the world is being created, right? So That's how it's being created, how the world is being created. Right? Later on, you will see more text about how this world almost like physics, Yeah.